Hello, and thank you for purchasing the ITI VR Desktop Simulator. In this setup video, we will show you how to assemble the Mobile Crane Desktop Simulator unit. Open the hardshell cases and remove the following components: laptop, pod arm bridge, left and right pod arms, sensor rod arm, sensor rod, Oculus sensor, Oculus Rift headset, power supplies and adapters. Make sure the desk you use is at least 3 feet wide, 3 feet deep, between 1 inch and 2.5 inches in thickness, and close to a standard power outlet. Be sure not to use a GFCI outlet as it may short the hardware. You may also wish to use a surge protector. Place the laptop on the desk facing forward about 2 to 3 inches away from the desk or table edge. Place the pod arm bridge on the desk with the blue segment facing towards you. Hold it in place with the laptop. Open the bridge cover. The left pod arm will be identified by the USB and power receptacles on the right side. The right pod arm will be identified by the USB and power receptacles on the left side. Both sets of receptacles will face inwards towards each other. Unscrew the first clamp on the left arm until it is easily able to clear the thickness of the desk. Slide the left pod arm onto the desk and fit the puzzle piece segments together. Take care not to pinch the cords on the bridge. Lay the cords in the arm bridge. Tighten the clamp against the table. The clamp should be secure but not overly tightened. Place the sensor rod arm on the desk, next to the right side of the pod arm bridge. Unscrew the second clamp on the right pod arm until it is easily able to clear the thickness of the desk. Place the right pod arm on the desk and fit the puzzle piece segments together. Tighten the clamp against the table. The clamp should be secure but not overly tightened. Take the wire assembly and plug both the power and USB cords into the receptacles on both sides. Once the wire assembly is connected to both pods, tighten the shrouds around the power receptacles. Close the bridge cover. Now, take the sensor rod and screw it into the Oculus sensor. Take the Oculus sensor and rod, screw it into the rod arm base. Adjust the lock nut at the base of the rod until the sensor faces forward and the rod is secured in place. For the Mobile Crane Desktop Simulator unit, use 2 twin single-axis joystick pods, or A-pods. For the link belt lattice boom crane, use 1 dual-axis joystick pod, or B-pod, on the left arm, and 1 triple single-axis joystick pod, or C-pod, on the right arm. For the cab-operated overhead crane, use 1 dual-axis joystick pod, or B-pod, on the left arm, and 1 twin single-axis joystick pod, or A-pod, on the right arm. Slide the pod along the guide plate on the arm until the 8-pin connectors contact. There will be a small gap between the pod and the back of the arm. While holding the pod gently in place, insert and rotate the thumb screws until firm against the plate. Repeat these procedures for the second pod. Modular foot pedal installation. Connect the USB cord to the front of the foot pedal base. Slide the foot pedal into place under the desk. Be careful not to pinch the cord underneath the foot pedal base. Then connect the USB connection from the foot pedal base to the bottom of the right pod arm. With the pods installed, assemble and plug in the desktop hardware power supply and connect the desktop hardware to the laptop with the provided USB A to B cable. Plug in the Oculus sensor USB cord into the right side USB port on the laptop. Plug the power supply into the laptop. Retrieve the Oculus Rift headset. Plug the HDMI and USB cords in the according ports located on the left side of the laptop. Power up the laptop. Sign into the laptop using your password. Open the Administrator's Manual to the section titled Hardware Installation and Setup Quick Start Guide. A summary of these instructions are listed for your hardware setup. If you have any additional questions or are experiencing issues or difficulties, consult the troubleshooting section of the admin manual. That's it! You are ready to start moving some iron and ultimately improving operator skills at your organization. If you have any questions or experience issues during setup, please contact the ITI VR support team at www.iti.com/VR ticket to submit a service ticket. Also, be sure to explore the ITI VR knowledge base for general troubleshooting and answers to frequently asked questions from the ITI VR community.